Welcome, everyone, to the AI Lunch and Learn Tuesday edition. My name is Danny Ross, and I'll be your host as we wander through the world of AI. Also, just for some quick housekeeping, please in the chat, put a one if this is your first session with our team learning AI and the BuildBiz platform. Also, feel free to share where you're from. We've got some new people on here. We've got some names I recognize. Welcome. And we're going to go through some basics quickly in about a minute. If this is your first time joining this training, you can see here where we have our AI Lunch and Learn, noon 12 every Tuesday. You can register here. Don't forget to add it to your calendar. We also have a session for entrepreneurs who are white labeling our platforms. This is for people who are reselling these AI apps under their own branding and colors. That's Thursdays, 12 noon Pacific or 3 p.m. Eastern. If you miss a session, we do add those here. A couple of my users asked me for the Tuesday, July 15th session and the Thursday, July 17th. Those have both been posted. If you miss a training, just look for the topic, click, and you can catch up. These are all available for everybody who is on here. All right, let me check again in the chat. Anybody who is brand new, please put a one in the chat. If you have a domain name and you've never gotten an AI video made, please go ahead and put your URL or domain name in the chat, and I'm happy to create one of those. In the platform, you can see there's a new feature where you can go through the tour. If this is your first time here, it walks you through some of the features and how to edit your layout. That's also a new feature where you can drag an icon to the top if you have something you want to always find your favorite apps, just drag them up to the top and they'll be up there for you, easy to find. You don't have to wander around. If you don't know how to use the platform at all, please visit the Start Here button. This walks you through some recent videos. We have the replay of our 1 hour AI webinar. We're getting ready to have another one of those at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you've never used AI in a meaningful way, this is a great class to jump on. Again, that's 7 p.m. tonight Eastern. Let me put the app in there. I've got a new AI. This should pop it up. I've got a new page that I'm working on. I'm going to be blasting out an email. You'll see an email invite to that page where you can sign up for tonight's session. We're going to build and sell an app in 1 hour. For that, we're going to be using what is eventually going to become App Server AI. I'm about to launch that. But in the meantime, we're using the foundational famous.ai to build those out. Feel free to go in here and get that done. I'm going to walk through how to build out these pages so you guys can have a lot of fun. And then I'll walk through getting an affiliate code. And I'm actually going to build out my white label for you guys. There's a lot of fun things coming down the pipeline this evening. Jump on, and for now, if you do want to check out the platform, it's free. There's the link to it. You can build any kind of app in a couple of minutes. So a meditation app, SaaS landing page, quiz builder, fitness builder. Let's say I was building a with the hero section, features and pricing, and a contact form. The app is called app server.ai. You could do something like that and give it enough information for it to use a white label. Or if you wanted to get an even better start, my recommendation would be go to our friend ChatGPT or even ask Danny in the app itself in the BuildBiz platform and have it build those out. You can do it many different ways. I've got a thread on both of those that are trained up. You could use either one. It really doesn't matter. Let's see if I have one in here that I was working on earlier. There we go. Design a professional landing page. Give me a prompt for a professional SaaS landing page with a hero section. It's called App Server, which is built on the white label of Famous. I'm giving it a very simple prompt. I can tell a little more information. I can say something like, use the info above. I got a lot of stuff in this chat. Info above. Usually I say make the prompt comprehensive. And the reason why I do that is because I like to include as much as I can in each prompt. But there's two different philosophies on building in vibe coding or famous.ai. You can say, hey, I want to build everything in a more complicated way and then go back and fix it, or I want to build it in a simple way. Those are both different approaches that you can use. Right now, it's building this out. It's giving me the markdown version of it, and you can ask for the text version of it. You can ask for the markdown version of it, and the AI will work with either one. It's really fun to use these prompts. We'll start with this prompt, for example. Let's go back to where we were building. I'll change this prompt. I'll give it a little bit more to work with. We'll just start with this for now. It's giving you colors, electric blues, and things like that. So that's fine. We'll start with that. All right, that's how easy it is to start building an app. And like I said, we're going to explore this evening and get into more detail during that hour. I'll pause here for everybody on the call. Some of you already are BuildBiz.ai customers. If you are, please go ahead and ask me any questions you may have. BuildBiz is the no-code platform where you can build your own apps. You get 60 plus AI tools on one platform. Start your free trial. You can build it out. You get 11 workbooks immediately upon joining. You get 7 days to test it. These are some of the apps we're going to play with. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you can build out a form like this, a website like this in a very short order. I'll pause here and see if anybody has any platform type questions. Most of you I've seen on here quite a few times, so I don't think we have anybody super new. If you haven't joined the platform yet and you're still thinking about it, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat so I can answer them for you. Or if you have general AI questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. It's building out. So this is all part of the magic show. I like to show how easy it is to do some of these things. One of the questions I get often is, once I build my first app, how do I get people in the platform to find it? Whether you're using the famous.ai platform or the BuildBiz platform, you publish both types of properties, whether they're websites or apps, by using a domain. For those who don't know, a domain is a record in your registrar. Think of your website or app as a building that you've built. Over time, if somebody wants to find you, they need your address. That's your domain name or URL, your street address where somebody types that in and it takes you right to that website or app. For example, I have digitalexpress.ai, one of my primary domains. I can add subdomains to that and point them to my different apps and web pages. And that is the way people can find me. I have a page here under a subdomain, which is digitalexpress.ai/AI training. You can put training as the secondary aspect after the main domain, or you could put something before it. For example, if I did the other version of this, it's training.digitalexpress.ai. Now, the word training is also a subdomain. This is what I mean by you can connect a subdomain, in this case, training.digitalexpress.ai, or I just created a new one called AI app.digitalexpress.ai, which is the one that I'm using for tonight's webinar. They're both similar, but they're different addresses as far as the internet is concerned. Okay, so you can use your domain to point to these different places. Build and deploy custom AI apps in under 60 minutes. Leverage the same AI agentic. I would take that text and change it and then it goes into building out some things. Like for instance, it has 5. I would have 6 to balance it out. There's little things that you can change For instance, it built out a temporary page and then you build from here. It added some fake testimonials. I would replace these with real ones. And then it gave different plans. These are all part of the Entic model from famous.ai. These are some of the plan points. You can change the details on it. There's a FAQ built, ready to get started. You can request a custom demo. I would replace this with a calendar link for myself so people would immediately go to my calendar, a sign up form, which they don't know if I'm available on this date, then we have to go back and forward. The nice thing about using a calendar link or embedded calendar is it goes straight to me, for example. So that's the kind of thing that I would do there. We can actually come back and keep building on this, but I like what it's done so far. It's a good start, and we could add more colors, more flavor, some animations, and things like that. But you can see I built that in less than 10 minutes. It's really an idea. You can build a landing page. Now, what's the difference between building it here and building it in the platform? Somebody asked about sizing information for images on Build Biz screens. So I'm kind of curious about that. Dr. Sean, please come off mute, ask your question instead of me going back and forth in the chat. What was your question?
Okay, so I'm building out my white label. I wanted to get the information, the screen that my clients will go to in order to access my Build Biz platform. There are two sections. The section on the left allows you to put in a logo and some kind of image. I'm wanting to know what sizes those are supposed to be, what physical size and how many megabytes. It keeps kicking my images back. I feel that I'm putting in the wrong image size and wrong megabytes.
Are you talking about for your sign up page?
For my sign up page, one has the name and email on it on the left, and on the right, you can put an image.
Why don't you share your screen? Because I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing.
No. Okay, hold on one second.
All right, we'll do that. I will stop sharing for you to share your screen. We have Annette. Hey, Annette, how's it going? I'll bring you up so you can speak. We have a relatively small group today.
You'll see the share screen option on my
Should be
screen.
on the bottom of your Zoom window. If you find your Zoom window, that should guide you.
No, I see chat, react, raise hand, Q&A, show captions. The
Okay,
share
it's
screen.
possible that you cannot share in this type of webinar that I have set up.
Okay, my URL is just techafrica.ai, TEKAFRIK.
Sure, just a second. Let me reshare. I have so many versions of my webinars. Some allow sharing and some do not. All right, let's do this. Advanced share. All right, let's go find you. You said Tech Africa, thinking about it.
Africa with a K, not a.
See, you have to be specific. All right, let's see.
TEK. I put it in the chat, TEKAFRIKA.
All right, which image are you speaking of?
On the left-hand side, that image, I just used one from the platform because it kept kicking mine out. What size is that supposed to be and how many megabytes are you allowed?
When you upload, it should give you some guidance. Let me go in here. Let's take a peek. I would probably, from a size point of view, let's go in and see if we can take a look at what you're trying to do there. Let's go one level up. Let's go down a level. All right, so let's go back here and I've got the affiliate. And let's go to the white label. All right, so that's what I remember now. I didn't set that up to have that function. We'll go one level up. All right, so let's go into settings and we'll go into customization. For some of you, this is a bit advanced. Just relax and follow along with us. When you're building this, you can add a background image or video to your white label or your login. It gives you both places that you can do that. You can click to upload and then add an image. It will not allow you to upload the image.
And it's not telling me what I need. Usually it says you need to have this no more than this size. It needs to be square or it needs to be rectangle, and it can't be more than so and so megabytes. Usually that's what I would expect, but I'm not getting it on either of those, and I need to adjust both of those areas.
Right. I got you. Let's see if I can figure out an easy way to determine that. Oh, I know where I could go. Let's see. I believe mine is embedded in the coding. Let's try logging out. I'm just using a starred background. Let's see who I have that's using one. Let's see if we can reverse engineer the size being used. This might be a question I'll take offline.
The Deal.ai logo is really large. It wouldn't let me put anything in that large, so I'm not understanding.
This is actually a video, so that's why you can't do it that way. It's a video, not an image.
Okay, on the video, what size?
I have no idea. Let me see something here. Give me 1 second. Yep, that one's also a video. I think video is the answer to your question. Let me see if I can find somebody who's actually using an image. Give me 1 second. Far everybody I've found is using a
Even is it if it's a video, should it be a 16 by 9? And how many megabytes is it allowed to be?
No, well, for a video, it'll be a lot easier because you're just sharing the link. The video itself is hosted on either YouTube, Vimeo, or Wistia. That's basically how they're doing this. The ones that are using the video, that's the easiest way to do it.
Okay, so then if that's the case, where would I enter the link?
It would be in that same coding area right there. Let me see if I can find somebody who's not using it. Yes, it is. That's correct. She's also using it. How do we figure out the size? That's a really good question. Let me ping the guys and see if they have a recommendation somewhere. Other place I can check really quickly. Let me sign in as myself. I love when I ask these questions that kind of drive us into a specific area. There is a community which I never go into anymore.
Discord.
No, in Deal, there's a community if you're on the Deal level. We've added an AI app to your onboarding office. Yes, I saw that. Let's see if we still have onboarding, white label, customization, big improvements on AI personalities. We should actually take a look at that one. I really haven't touched customizing it. It's good to see all these updates. We just launched the latest, most powerful video model ever. You can use everything in BuildBiz as well. Let's take a look. Are you talking about the community itself?
The community.
Yeah, you would have to deal.ai. They don't share their community. It's kind of like we have our own videos and training, they have some as well. And for anybody on the call who doesn't know, the BuildBiz platform is built on the Deal.ai platform. We get all of the fun stuff of Deal.ai within ours as well. All right. He used to have it pinned, and that made it easy to find.
Okay.
I will drag through and see if I can find it for you. He gave some links and guidelines on adding backgrounds to the white label. And
Okay.
my answer to you is simply reduce the size until it fits. Usually cutting it in half will do it. I don't know how large your image is, but it can't be that large. It may be the style of the image or the extension on your image. Use PNG as the most universally accepted. For any website image, anything that is 1024 by 768 is a good size and certainly large enough for that area. I would reduce the size of your image to about 1024 by 768 if it's landscape. Obviously, if it's square, 1024 by 1024 pixels, in case you were wondering. Those are both good sizes for website work. Without knowing specifics, I know those are pretty much industry standard. And then the size of the image will reduce automatically.
Thank you.
No worries. If anybody has any more questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat.
When is the new CAAB training?
I sent you an email on that. It's the 31st and the 1st, 31st of July and 1st of August. I'll put another link in the chat for you.
Okay.
I'll drop this link in the chat. If you want to learn more about building apps, here's the link. We'll be doing this training. It's a 2-day training course, July 31st and the 1st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. It's virtual, so don't worry if you're not there. Also, if you miss it, it is recorded. Dr. Rashawn was on the first one, and we invited anyone who was on the first one to come back to the second one. You should receive an email, Dr. Rashawn, but here's the link if you have not been on it before. That's the link to sign up for it. We'll be giving training for signing up, and it's $297 to sign up. All right, so let's see. What haven't we done in a little while? I've been building a lot of pages. We have a lot of new styles of customer bills out here. We haven't done that in a little while. We have some legacy bills that we started but never finished. One of the nice things is you have your favorite apps. You can throw them up here on the top. This particular one is the AEO website and funnel maker. This is how you build your websites or funnels. We have a lot of styles of these out here. I like to show off the variety of pages you can build. This one is for Millie, my wife's sister lock company. You can build it out. This is actually an edited one because it's usually showing the wife instead of that AI generated image. Let me make sure I show the real one. There we go. This is the real one. There's my baby. This is how you can build out a nice, simple website. Easy to do in EO funnels. And then we have different styles. I'll shut that one down and go back here. That is not spelled correctly. I want to show you another one that's being built. fg2.com. This site was also built in AEO funnels. Again, a variety of website styles and things can be built very easily. I'm building out another one. I should say that my VA is building out another one right now for the Empire Board of Realtists. We're building out a new page. It's literally in construction right now. This is going to be another style. This is more of a sales funnel where you have a simple message at the top, a subheader, then a little explanation paragraph, and so on. These are all different styles. The BuildBiz website itself is built on AO funnels. We were a long time ago working on Net's website and never really finished it. We should probably put in a few minutes of work because that will give me the ability to also train and answer questions. Annette, how are you and how have you been doing?
Just came off vacation yesterday. I had a good time.
Family reunion time.
Yes, yes.
That's fantastic. We were playing around with building your website so long ago, and we haven't done anything since we started. We've got our special offer. We've got a little form here. I think one of the things that we would want to build out is an FAQ section. Actually, we do have an FAQ section. We've gotten some areas done here. Let's take a look. We have it in the tablet size. When you're building your website, you really want to spend a bit of time making sure that it's responsive and that everybody can see it on their different devices. Make sure it's showing well. This looks really good on mobile. I like the way that's flowing, which is the way most people will see your website. You really do want to spend the most time making sure that it looks good in mobile. That's how most people will visit and find your website. Like we have here, border, radius, shadow. We could add a little shadow. Let's add a little light shadow. That's not bad. These are all things when you're building your website that you can do easily. But if you get stuck, we do offer website building functionality. Myself and the VA will help you build out your website in short order. The fee for building a website is $8.99. We also will help you build out your white label where we customize all the icons so they look at your colors and your branding instead of Build Biz colors. That's also available as a service for people that are not aware. Okay, let's see. We have a video. We need to create your video because I don't think we ever did and make your family gatherings comfortable with personalized apparel, memorable family union. That's not a bad heading and header section. Schedule a call. So we need to get some things tightened up here. The page itself, this background is a little boring. Let's see what we could do to liven it up. I like this picture. We created this a long time ago. These images are right on the money. I think those are fine and we can play around with other ways to tackle it. So for people who are not familiar with the builder, it builds things in the very top level container is essentially purple when you kind of look at it. It's a segment or a section. And then the next one is blue, and that's the row. And this one, we have a row. And in the row, we have one item, which in this case is just the logo. Whereas if we go down here and look at this next row, we have a mid-size row. In it, we have a variety of items. We have a heading, which is just text. When you click on a component, it'll give you the settings. In the case of a headline, it'll give you the font, the size of the font, the colors of the text. In this case here, this is an image. We're using a YouTube video, just kind of a placeholder. Use a URL from YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, wherever you want to host your video, and just link it to the player and it'll play it. You have here a component, which is a button. And the button also has this text that you see, a subheading. You can choose your font, and then you can pick sizes if it's on the desktop view, and then you can have a totally different size if you have a mobile view so that it fits properly. As you go down, we have a new section here. This is the body of the website. In the settings, we have blue, which is the row, and then we have the component. This is what we call a benefit stack, which talks the user, the visitor, about why they should use graceful threads. Those are all components that we have here. I think we should go ahead and build out this actual URL and build out this video. Let's see, what is this video? I know it's just a placeholder. Let's see what it actually is.
Make your family gatherings unforgettable with personalized apparel that captures cherished memories. Our custom-made t-shirts ensure memorable family reunions and preserve moments in a unique, tangible way. Celebrate every occasion with meaningful apparel designed on a timely schedule to deliver quality without compromise. Experience ultimate comfort with our high-quality cotton blends, perfect for lasting memories. Enjoy inclusive design input from all generations, ensuring satisfaction through professional service and guaranteed delight. Choose graceful threads for memorable keepsakes at competitive pricing, turning family events into treasured memories.
Of course, it costs you money to do that, whereas YouTube is free. As you build your business, you may want to switch to Vimeo so that it only plays your video and it only stays on your video. Another way to do it is embedding videos. There's a way to upload videos. So there's different options as you get more sophisticated in this. For example, here you can have a custom embed, Vimeo, Wistia, HTML5 video. As you get more familiar with the different features and functions of video, you can do that as well. For now, we're going to stick with YouTube, and that video is actually pretty decent. We have a couple of things that we can play with here. We have the header section, which looks pretty decent. We could upload an image and use it as a background to add a little pop and color to the website. Let me take a look in your folder to see what we might want to use. Give me 1 second here. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. All right, we have some photos. Let's see, we have our Instagram size, we have our graduation. These are all images we have used as part of this. Oh, that is a great image. I like that image. And we could use any of these images as backgrounds, as they'll just fill in some color. What we can do is make the image very faded, so just the colors are really being utilized. Your colors scheme was, give me your colors again, Annette.
They were
Royal blue and what else?
blue and white
Okay,
and
thanks.
silver.
Okay, let's do this. If we were to take this whole section and segment, see what would happen. Interesting. Interesting. Obviously, if we used it as a background, we wouldn't be able to use it again. Messed with the settings. Background. Adding full page. Image position. Yeah, it's way too busy. Basically, you can also embed an image into the background. I like some of the elements of it, but it's way too busy. Let's try a couple of other things we can do. Let's try taking the background image out. Fit center, fill 100%. Let's see what we get here. It doesn't look horrible, but I don't want to use it because it's a little too crazy. Let's take that out and change this color here. Do blues. And is your blue there, closer there? And then we can change this to lighter version. Okay, we have the blue now instead of the brownish color. That goes pretty well. And then we could put an image here. So we can put an image behind this. Let's say we have the website generate an image. Generate hyperrealistic. Let's see, tell it to generate a gradient. And by the way, you can also go to gradient websites too. Generate a gradient using royal white. I'll grab it as a 16 by 9. First, we'll just grab a gradient. If we don't like it, we can play around with different options. Let's try that again. If we don't get what we want, there's lots of different ways to generate it. It does a really good job on some things. These are some of the images that I've been playing with recently. This app is called Hyperrealistic, and it can generate quite a few interesting images that you can use in a lot of fun ways, including developing UGC content. All right, so now we can grab that, and it can be a PNG, JPEG, or WebP. WebP is generally a smaller file. So I'll grab that and bring that into this background here. Instead of using one color, we'll actually use an image. No, that was not the right image. I didn't upload it. Sorry. Let's try that again. That's a user error. I actually need to upload it. There we go. Bring that in. You can use it behind the image there. There's a nicer look to it. Let's also test it as a background just to see what it looks like across the whole page. One of the things you can do with the background is add a video, by the way. So we hit there, it's filling 100%, and that's not too bad. Brings it to life a little bit. 5-minute warning. Brings it together a little bit better. And then we can play around with this one and either just take it out. One of the things we can do with your image here, for instance, this one has a white background. We can do a couple of things. We can change it so that it is just a PNG file that has no background. Let's take a look. I don't think we did. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we created that image. Let's go back now to our image generator. I'm pretty sure we created that in our logo creator. We have one of those on the platform as well. Let's see if we can find that one. Graceful Threads. Oh, for some reason I put somebody else's logo in Graceful Threads. That was weird. Let's see if we can find that logo for you. That is really weird. Let's see. There it is. Cool. We have this one here that we created, and we can tell it to remove the background. It'll take a second. Now we have that. We can download. Now, if we go back to our upload here, let's try to grab that image and upload it. Let's try dropping that in. Oh, that's not bad at all. This is actually pretty decent because the gradient is light right there, fit perfectly right there. Now this is boring because we have the same exact color in both places. Let's think about this now. Let me cancel that, remove that image. And the background color, fade that all the way out. All right, we can play around with it. Right now, this is a very light thing here. Now we have a little bit more excitement from the background point of view. Obviously, the places where we had blue, we're going to have to change that color. I kind of like that. What do you think of the logo and the way it fits on the blue background? Do you like that a little better? Annette, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Did you step away, Annette? Come on back, Annette.
I'm back. I was on the phone.
No, I was asking, do you like the way the background works with your logo now?
It's beautiful.
You like that? Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. As I said, it's a little less boring, a little bit more interesting. We add a little life to it, if you will. We can play around with some of the color schemes of the rest of the page. You could even do a white and then keep like black here so you can have your headings in white. We can play around with the look and feel of the whole page. Now you have three colors essentially. You have this kind of faded brown to red kind of color, and you've got your kind of light brown color. And now you can play around with the fonts here. We have a white, a little bit of black, staying with your logo. We'll pull in the colors from your logo and your primary color, which you like, which is blue. We could go back to that color originally. Same thing. In settings, your typography, your content, your headline font, text color, themes, and different fonts. We can make it so that your bold color, for instance, here your bold color is blue. We can change it to white. That's the bold color now. We can make it stronger now that it's white. And you can add shadow to it. For example, if the text is not showing up well, you can add a little shadow to make it stand out better. See, that makes it easier to read, even though it's on a light background and a dark background. Adding a little shadow around it makes the whole text stand out. I recommend, especially if you're using white, that you just drop a little shadow behind it, a little mid shadow. And you can use full shadow or mid shadow, but mid shadow looks pretty good so that the text is readable no matter where it's kind of sitting on background. And then in this one, we have the same issue where we were using blue as an accent color, but because blue is the background now, white would be a better accent color to make it stand out. Same thing here. We can keep this, but we would want to add a little shadow behind it so that it stands out. It's good to have a little bit of different colors and things, but you got to be careful. It's kind of blending in because we no longer have a white background. The easiest fix is to make the standout color white. Now you have a pop of color everywhere, so you don't really need to add color. Now you got to work on readability. And so that's how you do that. Make the bold color white. If you go with themes, it has a theme for it. Sometimes it doesn't. These are all minor editing things we're doing now. We're just making it pop a little bit so that it's easy to read for everybody. And you can change the font sizes to make them larger, but generally we already conquered that stuff. I like that update. That didn't take long, 15 minutes or so. And we have a really nice setting. Did you ever buy the domain gracefulthreads.com? I don't remember.
No, I was
Okay. That's okay. Let's see what the pricing looks like.
uh,
Mm. Oh, sorry. I went to the wrong app. There's two apps for domain management. One is called Buy a Domain, where you can put in a paragraph and it'll create domain names for you, which is a really cool app in itself. If you don't know exactly what you wanted to call your domain, you can have it do that, or you can go back here and build it another way. Manage domain is a little bit more specific, so I can actually buy that domain from here. And we'll do a little experiment with this. Let's see what the pricing is in the platform. The nice thing about adding it in the platform is that it says it's not available. We'll have to check quickly here. Let's go back here to mine. I just don't remember if when we started this process it was available or not. Let's go to here. Actually, let me do two things. Let me go back to my products. I can't remember if I bought it or not for you. Let's see here. My products. Let's try this one more time. There we go. All products. Show more. Doesn't look like I did buy it from what I can see here. We've got a couple of choices. Just looking through the list here. Quick shot that I see here is we could do mygracefulthreads.com. That's very close. And that wouldn't be terrible. And as a domain, mygracefulthreads.com is cheap. And it could be a way for us to get into it. And you don't have to explain to people how to spell it, which is kind of good. Even though most people are going to click a link, it still helps to not have to explain how to spell your URL from a business point of view. But you can do it both ways, don't get me wrong. It's just a matter. What do you think? mygracefulthreads.com?
Yes.
Does that
Yeah.
work for you? All right, let's grab that one then. And
Danny, before you do that, gracefulthreads.com is available for $99 if you want to go there.
no, it's available for negotiation starting at $99. This is just the broker fee.
Oh,
You start that conversation with them, and then it'll be whoever. They'll give you a price, and then you can negotiate with the owner to try to get it from them. I was trying to buy one the other day. It was $25,000 when I
hmm.
contacted them. I was like, it's just not that serious. He's like, no, I can negotiate for you and try to get the price down. I said, okay, I'll pay $1,000. He's like, no, well, I can't offer that. And I'm like, well, there you go. We're in agreement that this is not for me. I'm like, dude, it's just not that serious. I'm glad you're proud of your domain name, but I don't need it that bad. Those are the kinds of conversations you have with those guys. They're hilarious. They really are. All right, let me trash some of these that I was playing around looking at. I don't need that. I might go ahead and keep that one on there. Let's see. You can basically get all of these domains, whatever you want. So we're going to do the My Graceful Threads, and we're going to do, how many years is it trying to sell us? We'll do 1 year for now. Go, 12.99 is fine. And to see what's 2 years, just to see. I think you get the deal on 2 years. 29.99, not much of a deal. 31% off. So we'll do 1 year.
How about gracefulthreadshop.com?
Yeah, again, I thought of that too. But again, the longer that it gets, the worse it gets from being able to tell people where your domain name. In other words, adding the word shop doesn't really bring any real benefit to it. She's not just an e-commerce shop. There's a practical side of it, meaning that there is the shorter the URL, you get one word, it's perfect. So that's the practical and strategic part of it. You can make up a weird name like Google and it becomes like a real domain. But if the first time you heard that name, you were like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But now it's a verb and a noun. From a branding point of view, if you spend a couple $1 million, you can make anything a verb. What I'm getting at is when you're buying your own domain, there's two primary kinds of domains. One is your business domain. Graceful Threads is really more her company slash business name. So we want to get that in there. And then there's the boutique domain name where it's more of an explanation of a business or service or a description of a business or service. And in this case, Graceful Threads fills both purposes. Graceful is the simplest thing we want. And then adding things before or after it, the simplest, the better again. So we want to keep it as easy for people to remember as possible. My Graceful Threads is it's still a pain because you have to explain to people, yes, it's Graceful Threads, but put the word my in front of it. In this scenario, it's probably the least of the evils. And she's still getting a .com, which is still the OG domain, but you can
Mhm.
literally do a .net, .info, .shop. There's millions of extensions these days.
What is the .io signifying?
It's literally, I believe it's a country extension, but people are using it to signify technology.
.io. Okay.
Yeah, it's usually an app in most cases. So people kind of show it that way. Hopefully, everybody got something out of this call. We're going to continue on with this project offline. I'm just going to buy this domain for Annette so that she has it, mygracefulthreads.com. And then we're going to add that to her thing here. Let me make sure I'm not adding anything extraneous. All right, let's grab this. Complete the purchase. I don't need any more domain names, but I am going to get that one because I am building out a white label version of famous.ai, and I will want to have that appserver.ai. It's to build apps, and it's going to be a server for building apps. Since it's purely AI, I have no problem spending the extra money to get the .ai. .ai cost more, but if you're in the AI business, it makes sense to spend a little bit more on it. And I've got it for 2 years. It wasn't a bad purchase from that perspective. We have your domain name now, mygracefulthreads.com. Next Tuesday, I'll show you how to link it up directly with the website. It's very easy to do. I hope you enjoyed the training today, and we're going to shut this down. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll try to get this recording up.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.